Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1978's Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls. 1978's Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls, and this is directed by Bob Chin and has an all-star cast in here of some of my favorites, two of my favorites, Candida Royale and Desiree Cousteau. We also have on the male front, John Holmes is in this film as well, and this is the back of the DVD from Vinegar Syndrome. See if we can get some shots here. And this was also released on a beautiful Blu-ray, and a limited collection, 5 films, 5 years. I picked both of these up. And it's DVD and Blu-ray. This is Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls. You know, the interesting thing about this film is that, gosh, I would say a couple years ago, I heard about this film just from various websites that I go to that look at obscure films, underground adult films, things like that. And I heard about this film. I looked up this film and was fascinated by it because it sounded like a teen sex comedy. It sounded like something that would be part of the sex comedy world. And then all of a sudden, I realized it was X-rated, and that just intrigued me even more. And it had a pizza place, it had girls on skateboards, real true kind of sexploitation, 70s vibes, 70s girls, 70s atmosphere, but X-rated. And then I find out that it's getting released by Vinegar Syndrome, you know, some years later. So this is 1978's Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls. It says "We Deliver" on the front there, and these are the actual girls from the movie right there. What a great post! This is an awesome poster art. You got the pizza behind them, an amazing font for the title, and you got the 4 girls. Very, very leggy. If you love thighs, you're gonna love these girls. So let's get into this film, 1978's Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls. I got some notes here, so you might see my eyes divert, but I'm gonna say right off the bat, we got this great atmosphere of a real pizza place. If you ever worked at a pizza place, if you ever worked in the food business, you just get that atmosphere from the film. You also get this amazing atmosphere of California. I believe it definitely is California. And the 70s. You get all of those atmospheres together, just mixing into an awesome late 70s blender to make this film. Now, we have a theme, an actual musical theme for the title theme for this film, and it is a great title theme. It is just 70s sounding pop rock, and it's breezy, it's light. You could almost have heard it in the soundtrack for Pinball Summer or Pickup Summer, which I've looked at on this YouTube page, the teen sex comedy. It has that type of vibe. And so this movie has a title theme song, which is awesome. The movie is sunny for the most part. There's a couple of nighttime sequences, but it's just sunny. There's beautiful flowers. It's bright. There's skateboarding, girls on the thin banana boards. They got the shoes with the little puff balls on the top. Really, really high, tight shorts, tied up, kind of white shirts with no bra, hair moving and bobbing. There's a lot of energy to this film. There's a lot of movement in this film. We have some 70s rock in this movie as well, and I will definitely say that this film has constant music, wall-to-wall music throughout the film. And all of the music, contrary to the closing credits of the film where it says lousy music by a person's name, I think the music in here is spectacular. There's also a guy in the closing credits who calls it, or somebody, their name is Sleaze. You gotta love the closing credits and opening credits sometimes for X-rated cinema. It's amazing. But there's constant music in this film, and the music will take the background, but you're able to hear it at the same time. So even though it's taking the background, like a Carlos Tobalina film, it's still in the front where you can still hear it. It's interesting. It's in the background, but it's not too much in the background. You can still hear it very, very clearly. And it brings an energy. It adds to the energy in the movement of the film as a whole, where I said the cinematography has an energy, the actors have an energy, but the music also has an energy and a movement to it as well. Even the dialogue in this movie has an energy and a rhythm and movement to it. It almost reminded me of the way Quentin Tarantino, kind of writes his script sometimes with kind of a rhythmic flow. I think I've mentioned this before in one of my videos, but the singer Mike Patton has sometimes said that he doesn't so much concentrate on the words as so much as the way the words sound, or the rhythms, or the movements of the words. And there's definitely a rhythm and movement to the dialogue in this film. We also have funky 70s catchy pop sounding rock music just in the mix as well. We even get some barbershop sounding music in the mix as well here, and even some Pink Panther type music in the mix also, kind of that quirky, funny, mysterious music. We have a bit of slapstick humor in here, and we definitely have comedy, but a bit of the slapstick in here of a guy getting stuck in a telephone booth. One guy in particular who plays an inspector in the film has the most slapstick, whereas the rest of the humor in the film is just great, kind of crude, hilarious dialogue and situations. We even have some country music in here as well. And I will also say that the music is very heavy. While we have rhythms and beats, it's very heavy on piano for the music in here. We have a lot of piano work. And there is a lesbian sex scene in the film that is the fastest, I think one of the fastest sex scenes I've ever seen in an X-rated film before. It's near the beginning, and it's amazing. If you love tight shorts, if you love thighs, if you love legs, you're going to love the girls in this film. There's some interesting work being done with the cinematography with focus, in and out of focus. We even have some blues music in the mix. We even have a very good usage of just slight, slow motion. Not like really heavy-duty slow motion, like in an art house type of vibe, or a very weird horror vibe, but slight, ever so slight and ever so perfect, and just the perfect sexual moments. Desiree Cousteau is unbelievable in here. If you love her Pretty Peaches and Hot Lunch, you're gonna love her in this movie. Excuse me. She's her southern accent, her innocence, and just her ecstasy, being wrapped up in the sexual ecstasy of her character, and in the way that she does oral sex, and in the way that she moans, in her face, and the way she looks, and it just, you get wrapped up in her ecstasy in this film. This film has so much fun. I mean, there's such a fun vibe to the movie, and we do have some gay jokes in here as well, some homosexual jokes in here as well, involving sausage. We're in a pizza place in here, folks, and the interesting thing that I could think about was that there was a film, I believe it was the late 80s possibly, called Loverboy. I mean, it was a mainstream Hollywood, I believe, PG-13 type film. It still is on television, where you have a male character, just one male character, who's being, there's basically being purchased for his sexual services, but as the pizza boy. But it's all older, like married women who want his services. And this was a Hollywood mainstream film, and Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls really did it first. But it's a group of girls as opposed to a guy, and just very, very interesting in the differences between those two films, but also in the similarities of those films, but the differences even in the gender roles. We have some southern vibes in this movie, for, I believe, taking place in California. We got some southern vibes in here, especially with Desiree Cousteau's character being from Alabama, but also a set of three guys who are almost like cowboys in a way. We have a strong sense of a theme of Americana in this film as well. An interesting plot involving fast food wars. Yes, fast food wars. Pizza versus fried chicken versus hamburgers. We have a plot involving vengeance. We even have some scary, darker music in this film. We even have vibes of horror in this film. Yes, vibes of horror. We have some guitar sounds in the film that are mimicking a chicken's buck, 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 buck. Yes. We have a chicken rapist in this film. Whoa. There's awesome kind of infighting, playful, funny, and even involving in a threesome sex scene, infighting between the main pizza girl. Just the way that they talk to each other, in particular Candida Royale's character, and calling each other fat and saying that their boobs are sagging, and oh you love cock or you love tits and all this kind of stuff. It's just great infighting, and it's sexy at the same time, and there's great attitude with the girls in this film, and some depending on their character. Obviously Desiree Custoda isn't the one with the attitude, but there's great attitude with the characters in this film as well. Great angles and shots, all different perspectives. Bob Chin really goes for some very close sexual shots in this film of the vagina and intercourse and things like that, and even anal. But he also has angles from all different shots, and sometimes these amazing shots of just covering up the whole screen with characters' faces, guys and girls, faces of ecstasy, and also unbelievable shots of just legs and butts filling up the screen, but all different shots from a distance. Really close up, just a little bit close up. He's getting all the angles here, folks. We even have Asian vibes in this film. Yes, there is even some Asian wisdom in the film. Very interesting. Great humor between the three cowboy type characters in the movie. We have some interesting twists and turns in the storyline. Yes, you are getting an X-rated teen sex comedy in this film, but you're also getting elements of horror. You're also getting elements of exploitation and crime. You're also getting elements of mystery, like in a Scooby-Doo type of way. Very interesting. We're also elaborating a lot on the love of pizza in this film. We also have some jokes about people from the South being slow. So we also, we have homosexual jokes, and we also have Southern jokes as well. We use some fade to black in the editing of the film between scenes. We have a plot of a inspector and in kind of detective investigative work. We even have romance in the film as one of the twists, and I gotta tell you, I believe that thus far this is my favorite John Holmes film. Thus far, this is my favorite John Holmes film. I just absolutely love his character in this movie. I love his acting. I love the way he delivers his lines. He kind of really gets that awesome vibe of like the pizza shop boss, where he's always kind of annoyed a little bit and trying to get the work done and just trying to get things moving. It's just perfect, and it reminded me a lot of my bosses, except my bosses weren't having me blow them. There's great houses in this movie with awesome windows, even some Asian artwork on the walls. Really great 70s environments and houses. Everything looks, everything's real, no sets. And I believe the shots on the sidewalks or the streets were just probably guerrilla shots, because you can just see people kind of walking by and looking at what's going on and what is going on. The bodies of the girls are just amazing. If you love, thicker 70s girls, just awesome. We got some, words and even a part of the storyline involving, quote, chicken shit. And we use the word cunt a few times in the film as well. And this one girl, one of the main pizza girls, is just, I love the hilarity of her having anger towards her lesbian pizza gigs. And I gotta tell you, the end of this film is awesome. The end of this film breaks the fourth wall and has kind of a mystery Scooby-Doo type vibe ending, and involving John Holmes and a license plate. It's just an awesome ending to this great, excellent, swift 76-minute film. I believe it's 76 minutes. Let me just double check here, folks. This is 76 minutes. Yeah, 1978. Unbelievable. We also have Paul Thomas in this film as well as another popular male character who has a southern accent here, which is interesting. Folks, here it is. This is Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls, and I got to tell you, the sex scenes in here are pretty freaking wild as well. Also have a lot of facials in this movie, a lot of ejaculation on faces, and if you love that, you're gonna love them in this particular film. All different positions in here as well, folks, and I just thought the sex scenes were really hot, really spicy, and as I said, and each girl's character's personalities reflects in the different acting within their particular sex scenes, which I thought was really cool as well. You're getting each girl. So here you go, folks. This is Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls, 1978, Bob Chim. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like this one. Thank you so much, and good night.